Hello, my name is Jerry. This webcast is all about the whole ribbons. I call them ribbons because they look like ribbons, but we're actually dealing with the whole 10 moving average and the whole 20 moving average. And it turns out that from a technical analysis perspective, the whole ribbons can give you a lot more information about your chart and your stock than most people realize. The objective of this webcast is to try and give you an insight in how all that stuff goes together. So first things first, on the chart, if you have the whole 10, I'm just going to point to this top guy, whole 10 greater than the whole 20, you are going to be in a bullish posture. So in a bullish posture, your chart is going to be making higher highs and higher lows, and it's going to be trending upwards. Likewise, if you have the whole 10 below the whole 20, you're going to be in a bearish posture, and the stock is going to be falling. So it works that way, and pretty much on the chart. If you have a red shaded area, you're in a bearish posture. If you have a green shaded area, you're in a bullish posture. And the signal that triggers whether you're bullish or bearish is the event where the whole 10 crosses through the whole 20. So here it is crossing up through the whole 20 right here. It's now bullish. As soon as the whole 10 crosses below the whole 20, it's now bearish and bullish and bearish and bullish. The other thing that's significant about the ribbons is the fact that let's home in on this area right here where the whole 10 is going up and then it decides to go down. And so when it's bullish, the moving average line is green, and when it turns bearish, the moving average line turns kind of a golden color, so it goes down. So, and you can kind of look at it and see us, going up and down, up and down. But the significance is that when the trend goes down, the posture of the moving average goes bearish, and when it turns up, the posture goes up. So with those thoughts in mind, let's look at the watch list. We'll see how we can tie these things together. So on the watch list, I've got 3 custom quotes, one for the whole 20, one for the whole crossover, and one for the whole 10. So when you have a situation where the ribbons are in a bullish posture, in other words, we're talking about this green shaded area, you're going to discover that the whole cross is going to be green. It's in a bullish posture. And the other thing that's unique about this is the fact that I have 4 shaded areas. I have a dark green, a light green, a light red, and a dark red. And the significance of those colors is that in the light green background color, it means that the posture happened within the last 3 days. And if it's been longer than 3 days, it's a dark green color. So it's essentially an aging effect. It's designed to show you at a glance what's current and what's not. And the logic is can be very useful and very powerful for just at a glance, just looking at the colors. So if you look at the individual moving averages, you have the same color scheme going on. You got your greens, and which means that the moving average is now moving up, or if it's if it's red, it means that the moving average is going down. So in the case of Nike, we can see that the whole 10 has been in a bullish posture for the last 4 days. It's been 3 days since we've had a bullish posture on the ribbon, and it's only just recently changed to a bullish posture on the whole 20. So let's look at the chart. And if we jump to the chart for this particular guy, we have to look out here at this point. And if we count back from the current chart of current day, go back 1, 2, this is the spot in here where the whole 10 crossed through the whole 20. So, okay, let's look at Nike on the chart. Best way to do this is to actually zoom in so we can look at it. So, according to this, the whole ribbon now has a bullish posture. It's been there for the last 3 days. And if we look at this, go back to our crossover point, we got 1, 2. It actually, I show it as here, but it's showing right there. So it's gone from red to green. That's the logic that it's using. It's maybe not perfect, but right there is, according to this, 3 days. It's what it's showing here for the logic. The 10-day hull has been bullish for the last 4 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's the 10-day hull right there where it changed from going down to going up. And according to this, the 20-day hull changed 1 day ago. So here it is, 1, and there it is. The 20-day hull is right there. So just by looking at the watch list, you can see where things are going on. Let's talk about the typical mechanism that goes on when the ribbon posture changes from bearish to bullish. So typically what happens is that the 10-day hull reverses direction. So consider that to be event 1. And then the second thing that happens typically is that the 10-day hull crosses up through the 20-day hull. Consider that to be event 2. And then the third thing that happens is the 20-day hull also reverses direction, and consider that event number 3. So typically that would be what happens, and you discover that it also does the same kind of thing in the other direction. So if you're in a bullish posture and it's reversing posture to a bearish posture, first thing that happens typically is the 10-day hull reverses direction. Second thing happens is that the 10-day hull crosses through the 20-day hull, and the third thing is the 20-day hull reverses direction as well. So our timing's off a little bit, but basically that's it in a nutshell. So typically you'd see like 1, 2, and then you'd see the third event happen. But you can see from both of these, the first thing that's going to happen is the 10-day hull is going to reverse direction first. I've changed symbols now to JP Morgan, but I wanted to show you another case that can also happen. In this particular case, we are in a bearish mode. The posture, the color is red in here, but you'll notice that as we get closer to where this crosses over, that both this is bearish, so this is the 10-day hull, and this is the 20-day hull. You can see in this particular case that both the slopes, both of those moving averages are bullish. So when you look at that, even though that we are in a bearish posture at the present, the moving averages for both of the hulls are in an upward trend. So the pressure to move to the upside is very, very, very strong right here, which is going to force the 10-day hull to pass through the 10. So when you see this kind of condition, recognize that that's a bullish signal, even though that it's a bearish posture. So I want to say one more thing about the scripts that I've got here. All three of these scripts, the hull 20 script, the hull crossover script, and the hull 10 script, I've included the links for each of those scripts in the heading of the video. So you can check those out. The only way that you can really learn and get a feel for how this thing works is to actually do it. You have to go through the process and convince yourself that you in fact can analyze what's going on with the hulls by looking at it on the watch list. And as soon as you see that, you begin to look over here and you see what happens if you see a scenario where we have dark green all the way across. And if you click on this guy, let's look at it. You are going to have a very, very bullish stocks. So you look at them here, these things are just going through the roof. And when you have a scenario, so this isn't necessarily the best place to put a trade on, a bullish trade. If you've got a situation where maybe it's all green, this just recently happened. This is a big jump here, so it's probably, again, it was a big jump. Maybe this is not such a perfect spot to put an entry on, but you're going to eventually find something. Perhaps it looks like this. It says, oh, we just crossed over here. So you look at it now, we are in a bullish posture. The 10 is crossed, the 20 is crossed. Knee doesn't look like such a bad candidate. Certainly from a trade at this level, it definitely up to that point there, perhaps in the stock. But traditionally you're going to see things that look like that, and when those things kind of events happen here, definitely it happened here. They're more frequent than you notice, than you realize. So in any case, take the time to install these scripts on in your watch list and go through the exercise, and you'll be quite pleased, I think, with the insight that you gain from using the scripts.